Hey, welcome to Blue Jay Banner today, and real special Blue Jay Banner today. We're going to do something a little different. We want to highlight some of our sponsors that have been so great with their time and money and everything else to help us give you the best Jays coverage we can. And today we want to highlight a place that's special to my heart, Vino Mas, and we have Deanne Albertson with us. Hi, how are you?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for joining us. So before we get into all the details and all the exciting things going on, how did you get into this?
Well, I always say it was the stars aligned. I had worked at my previous job for 13 and a half years, and I managed the business. It was technology. The owner was ready to retire. She had had it for 30 years. And so I took the business down for her. And then I needed to figure out what I was going to do with my life. And I had a passion for wine, and then talked to the other couple that we are in business with, and they had the finance, and then I say I had the time, talent, and energy, and Vino Mas was born.
So my first question on something like this is, how scary was it? I mean, were you just brimming with confidence, or are you like, oof, oof, I don't know if I can do this?
Well, I didn't have a choice but make it work. I did jump in with 0 experience. I've managed businesses, so I
Right.
had the business background. I worked in retail all through the '80s, early '90s, and I was a retail manager, so I had the retail background. I had never been in the alcohol industry, never worked a restaurant, never did anything like that at all, so it was a brand new industry. But if you take the experience that I had in retail and then the experience I had managing a business, it's just a different type of retail, right? And then also, I know a little bit about at the time, I knew a little bit about wine. Know way more now. I got my certifications within a year, year and a half of opening, and I know people. So it all worked out. And again, I didn't have a choice. It had to work, and it did. Yay.
Yeah, so we have kind of similar. I was in retail for a long time too, and I know I've had people now that I'm retired, basically. I've had people come up and go, "Hey, why don't you?" I'll give them suggestions about their business and mostly restaurant, and they'll say, "Why don't you?" And I said, "I don't know anything about restaurants. If I knew something about it, it would be helpful, but I don't know." Was that part of those? Because there's regulations and things, and
Right. Yeah, that was a little different. I had to learn it all, and especially uh, starting from scratch, I had to put the business plan together. I had to, of course, do all the build out. I was my own GM. I did my own design. I did everything myself. So yes, a little scary, but it was something I definitely had a passion for. And again, even though I did not have the hospitality industry experience, if the business experience, the business and
right,
the retail, it just translated right over to running Vino Mas.
yeah. Um, Now, when did you open the first location?
We opened in November 2013.
Okay.
So it's
So it's been
been
13 years.
12
Oh,
years. Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Crazy. We felt like we were at your place early on, but I guess we weren't. Like,
Well,
maybe we
time
were.
flies.
Maybe time flies. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh, so you got into the business. Like, at what point did you go, okay? Or was there a moment or a time frame where you said, okay, we got this is going to really work? Like,
It was after a few years. I think with any new business, the first year, you're always like, what did I do? You're working 85 hours. You're just constantly going and just trying to keep your head above water. Second year, it starts to kind of balance out. And by that third year, if you can make it that third year, then I figured, okay, I had a handle on things. We started really hiring more people. That was pre-COVID. We were just ramping up very, very quickly. And again, the retail background helped me because I was very much aware of the hours I was going to need to work and also of what it was going to entail. I think people getting into businesses like this, if they've worked day jobs, office job sitting behind a computer, they don't truly understand what goes into it, but because I had been retail management, I knew.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I I left retail and went into, like, a desk job, and I was, like, amazed that people are like, "Oh my god, these long days." I go, "You have no idea."
Right.
Like
No, no, they don't. Yeah.
I just want so you mentioned COVID, I just have to say, Deanna's just so and her staff is so ingenious, like, we've seen many businesses and restaurants and, family owned, individually owned that kind of went under because of COVID. They were so talented at Vino Mas. One of the
Thank you.
first and it wasn't long. So, COVID, all these restrictions. So they came up with a virtual wine tasting, which was like the highlight of like we were what day is oh, 2 more days, We couldn't wait till this thing happened because we were able to interact with other people and this was awesome. So just tell us a little bit about what you did there.
Well, one of the advantages, I think, to having your own business and not being part of a franchise or corporation is you can pivot on a dime. You don't have to go through all these different steps to try something new. Once we realized, which it was after a couple of weeks, that things were going to continue to be shut down for a little while, we realized, or I realized, that we have to do something. We have to keep people engaged, and we always had Friday night tastings from the day we opened. We opened on a Friday with a tasting. That's what we do every week. So I was like, well, we can't do it in person, so let's do it virtually. And what that did for us, we put out, as you know, a few days ahead of time. Here are the wines that we're going to be sampling. Here's the theme this week. Come on in, buy the wines, take them home and sample them through with us. And I am very blessed to have a staff that is absolutely amazing that pivoted along with me. And then at that time, one of my distributors, who is a very good friend, she's very knowledgeable in wine also. She's like, sure, I'll help you each week. And then we also have AJ, who her fiance happens to have all the photo equipment, all the equipment for doing filming and mics and all of that. So we just pivoted and said, this is what we need to do and move forward.
Oh, it was awesome. It was absolutely
Thank you.
awesome.
We
Um,
had fun.
we were, we would have to run into the kitchen and get the next wine as you were going.
Yes.
It was
Right.
just I remember those days. It was so much fun.
It was fun. I hope we never have to do it again. But it was fun. And actually, I've had people ask me, even throughout the years, we love those virtual tastings, and sometimes we can't make it out. The problem with that is now people can make it out. If we
Yeah.
did virtual tastings, we'd have very few people participating. That's
Right,
all.
right. I mean,
Yeah.
you had to go and get the wine ahead of time. You did have to do that.
Right. Right.
But
Yeah.
what I liked about it too was your tastings, as you mentioned, have become so popular. Um, but it was nice of that because you were so informative with information about wines. Like, some of the things we didn't know anything about certain wines and so on and so forth. It was great, great information.
Well, one thing I always say is that the more you know about wine, the less you know. It's a world of wine out there, and there's so much to learn and so much to know. So even doesn't matter how much I will study or how much I will read or how much I talk, there's so much that I don't know. And I know quite a bit. And for me, one of my passions is sharing what I do know and then continuing to learn. And I love it when people come in and teach me. I love that.
Yeah. Well, see, all you gotta do is ask Brenda, who runs your wine tasting at your, original location, and
Mhm.
I'll go up and get it, and she'll say, "This wine is from" da da da, and I'll be like, "What? Wait a minute. You said that" you know,
You're
like,
right. Brenda's amazing. She's
me
also running the wine tastings at least 2 times a week at the new location
oh,
on
awesome,
Thursdays.
awesome. So that
Mhm.
this is a perfect segue. So then you got a new location over in Legacy.
We do.
How long has it been open?
About 9 weeks, 9, maybe 10 weeks.
And I guess first of all, we should say you're off 144th, just south of Maple in Eagle Run
Right,
Center, next to Blue Sushi, if people know where that is. And then the new location's over in Legacy.
right behind Baby Blue Sushi.
Yeah, yeah,
So that
you're
makes
right.
it easy.
You're right.
Yes, it makes
I
it
was
very easy.
I was in your new location back when it was another business, but I've seen pictures on Facebook. It looks awesome. Look, you've done a
Thank you.
fabulous job. I love the way it looks. And so that had to throw another learning curve into it, right? Managing 2 businesses?
Yeah, that's yes, yes, especially it wasn't on our docket, it wasn't even planned, it kind of fell in my lap, and I literally had a couple weeks to decide, and we jumped in and said, "Okay, we're gonna do this," and luckily, again, I've got a great staff, and Deb, who has been with us since day 1, since the day we opened up our doors, went full time. She's now helping to manage. And then, of course, having the rest of the staff all were committed to working at either location. And then we were able to hire another 5 people. And so far, things are going great.
It's awesome. Now, I wanna talk before we talk about some wine, I wanna mention something because, you mentioned earlier, you said, "Well, I wasn't really in the hospitality industry," and I think sometimes, like, for a person that's just been in retail and not, like, one-on-one retail, more big
Uh,
box retail, yeah, you're always I remember always having customer service meetings and, on and on about that. But you really don't get a force of it until you're into business like you have, and it's your service blows me away. I mean, I don't ever remember walking into your place and not having somebody run over at one point and fill in our glass of wine or answering a question or whatever. That's really a passion. I mean, it just flat out is. It's just like, we talking here about basketball and rebounding. Rebounding is just you want the ball more than the other guy. Forget all the technique. And the same way with that. I mean, you just want to do it. Uh, is it hard to instill all that in your staff, especially when they're new?
well, what I always say is that I can teach wine to anybody. What you can't teach is people skills. So if I'm hiring somebody, it's going to be those people skills need to be there. But I've been very blessed that everybody, other than the few new people that I just brought on, I've known for years. They've been friends or they have been people that I have known through other people. And generally, if you have somebody that works for you and they recommend somebody and it's somebody they hang out with, it'll be someone that's going to be similar to them. Yeah, we're just very, very blessed. And then on top of that, not only do we have amazing staff, all of our customers, just like you, are fantastic. We are just yeah, I don't know how else to say it other than blessed with our customers, with our staff, with everybody that I work with in the entire industry has been phenomenal.
Yeah, well, it makes it easy to go in there and sit down. And it's awesome when you see a business that grows, like, I remember when we first went in, we could always find a table and now, oh my god, my wife's like, "We gotta get there at 4:30 or" like
Some nights yes, some
yeah,
nights no, but yes,
yeah.
and that's always a great thing, and I'm so thankful of all of the people that support our industry. Anything the time it's a small business, it's a local business, support local, support small. I love that. And then to be supporting Vino Mas and supporting all of our staff as well as our other customers and everyone that we work with, it's just we're very lucky for that.
Okay, before we move I lied, before we go to wine, I wanna talk about the live music you have
Yes.
because you get such a wide range of artists, and I'm always
Yeah.
amazed in Omaha when you go to a place like yours and go, "Man, there's a lot of talented people out here," you know?
We have a lot of very talented people. Eh, Omaha is a great arts community, whether it is from acting, from art to music to dance. So we have a wide variety of different arts and very talented. We hold a jam session that I actually am not in charge of. That would be Marty and Henry, and they're phenomenal at what they do. And they bring in local musicians and they just jam on Wednesday nights. And through that jam session, we have been fortunate enough to pick up a lot of our weekly musicians. And then, of course, we have recommendations, whether it's through musicians that are already playing with us or people that have reached out to me or just through recommendations of customers. And now, with two locations, we have a jam session on Wednesdays. And then we also, between the two, we have live music every Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So there's plenty of opportunities, at least at Vino Mas, to hear live music, to have a great glass of wine. And the musicians that we do have are all just really phenomenal people.
Hey, and don't forget your charcuterie boards, which are excellent.
Well, thank you, but you know what? If you have wine and cheese, it's a match made in heaven, right?
Oh, Caroline will always say, "Do you wanna get the large one?" I'm like, "What do you think?"
What do
Like
you think? What do you think?
all right,
Yeah.
wine. So, are you white, red, both?
It depends on whatever's in my glass, right? No, I actually I'm an equal opportunity wine drinker. I drink all of it. And there's even times where a sweet wine is called for if I'm having a dessert. So I don't really, uh, this is what I always say is I'm not a grapist. I like all of them.
Yeah.
So, and it usually depends on how am I feeling? What am I eating? Just what am I in the mood for right now? And sometimes I start with bubbles and then I might end with red or I might end with a port.
Hey,
Mm.
by the way, I gotta mention, you go to their website, they have so many recipes and pairings with wine. It's unbelievable.
We do. With our wine club, we have 3 main wines. We actually have 7 tiers, but we have quite a few wines, but there are 3 main wines every month, and every month with those 3 wines, we it's usually AJ, Karen, myself, Deb, Jackie. It's us 5 generally that will do a pairing to go along with it. We will always post the recipe, what the wine was, why we felt it went, and give all the information also on the wine. And all of that is on our website as well as in our weekly emails.
Yes, their wine club is fabulous. Fabulous. I'm just
Thank
and
you.
now how do you pick those wines?
I pick the wines based on what I feel will go over the best. We have the largest wine club in the state of Nebraska. And part of that is because we're reasonably priced and we're introducing people to wines that they wouldn't get if they walked into a grocery store.
No
For
doubt.
instance, this month we're highlighting wines from Brazil. We've highlighted wines from Armenia, from Turkey, from Hungary, just from all over the world. And I'm looking at where's it coming from? What does it taste? What is the well, you worked retail, so what is the season? Is this gonna go with the season that we have? We're not gonna put a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc in December because it's cold, but that'd be a perfect wine to put into July when it's super hot out. So there's a lot of different things that we look at, to go into the decision on the wine club bottles. I have one main distributor that I work with, and he really works very hard for me to go out and get samples to bring in from all over that he feels that might be a good fit. And then I have to drink. I have to taste them to determine if they will go over well or not.
Yeah, I've heard you tell stories about going, we'll be having one and you'll say, "Oh, I went to that winery," and,
Yes.
that's very interesting.
Yeah.
And it's still is am I right on this? It's $5 if you're a wine club member on the tasting?
If you're a wine club member, the tastings are free. There
Oh,
are
that's right.
tastings. Yeah, there are tastings every Thursday night at the Legacy location, and that is from 5:30 to 7. There are It's free for wine club members if you go on Friday night at the Eagle Run location from 5 to 7. Wine club members need to pick, don't double dip, but they can pick which night they want to go. And if you're not a wine club member, you can go to either location anytime. It's only $5 plus tax.
Yeah.
So very inexpensive.
I was thinking it was 5, now it's free. Now, Jesus, I'm gonna come that more often. Um,
Yeah, you've never paid for it.
Deanna, you know me too well.
Yeah, you
Um,
won't. Hmm.
what would you, this is a hard question to ask, but if you just off the top of your head, what are some of the 2 or 3 most popular wines that you sell? Brand and winery
Um,
and
actually, I don't know that we have some. It would have to go in, like, each category. I can tell you in the bubbles, it's really probably our Huber, which is a rosé, a sparkling rosé from Austria. That one is extremely popular. If you're talking about sweet, it's definitely our Francisca Moscato from Italy. When you're talking about a Chardonnay, it's really a mix of a bunch, but mostly we sell more unoaked Chardonnay than we probably do oaked. And then everything else is really, it's all across the board. Many times we're selling what we're pouring on our pour because somebody can try it, or it's something that we're tasting out that day. So people decide to buy it. One of our surprising wines that we sell a lot of and that we're still selling a lot of, and actually it'll be on our tasting tomorrow and Friday at both locations, is a Saperavi. It's from the country of Georgia. And that one we are selling a ton of since it was in the wine club.
have you seen a spike in the whole cluster Pinot Noir at all?
No, I have not. We do have some whole
So
clusters.
this is not good news for me because that means my wife will just buy that much more.
We we sell quite a few of them. Obviously we do, and I know Caroline loves a whole cluster, and many people do, but our most popular Pinot Noirs are definitely our ones from Willamette, which the one that you drink
Yep.
mostly is from Willamette, but they're not the whole cluster.
Yeah,
The whole cluster tends to be a little bit more fruit forward than the
it is.
other
It
ones.
is. And we've sampled most wines from Willamette, so
Yes,
we've got them
they're
all
my
covered.
favorite.
I
I
knew that.
love Willamette.
Um, so what else how about, sharing the hours of operation?
So the hours that we are open, the hours are the same at both locations. It's 11:30 to 7 Monday and Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays 11:30 to 8:30, Fridays and Saturdays 11:30 to 9:30, and then we're closed on Sundays and all holidays.
Okay, and they can find all that on the website as well, right?
Everything's on the website. We're retail, we're a wine bar, live music, tastings, locally owned, women owned, veteran owned. And the other thing is that if anybody has fundraisers, nonprofits, charities that they work with, we love working with them to do fundraisers within the store to help them raise funds um, for their events and for their charities.
And if you wanna have, like, a small or maybe even larger event, I know at the 144th location, you have a little room that you can,
Do. Yep. So anybody like bridal showers, retirement parties, graduation parties, birthday parties, just get-togethers. We've got plenty of room at either location. We're very inexpensive. We don't have minimum spends, and depending on what the event is, we can gear it depending on the location for um for the customer.
well, I'm excited when the weather gets warmer to go sit out in the back of your new location.
That patio is gorgeous.
Yes,
It
it
will
is.
be fantastic. I can't wait for that either. And I can't wait for the warm weather.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much for partnering with us. We are beyond excited, and we want to do some stuff with you. We'll probably come down there and do a show or something at some point, which would be awesome.
Yeah.
And thank you so much. Vino Mas, check it out. Go to vinomas.com. You can find everything, all the information that we talked about today right there. And thanks so much. And I'm sure we'll be seeing you soon.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me.
Sure.
Cheers.
Sure. Thank you. That's Deanna Albertson from Vino Mas in Omaha, two great locations. And it was fun having her on. And we're going to do this more often with some of our sponsors and give them a shout out and so forth. Um, let you know the rest of the week. So we've got another game coming up Wednesday where we'll do a opponent preview with Mike Rochon, and we'll also dig into some more things later on. I know we had big game over the weekend, and we'll talk about that some more. And then also, we're gonna get into some baseball. Baseball's coming up fast, so we're gonna, we had Coach Kingston on just the other day, and we'll have him on again and talk more baseball here as it's coming up in the next couple of weeks. So very exciting time. That was great. I hope you enjoyed that. I know it's a little bit different than what we normally do here talking Blue Jays, but we do want to really give our sponsors a chance. And Deanna really wanted to get a chance to get out here and promote her business. It's a fabulous business. And by the way, we should have mentioned, if you don't drink wine, they have other beverages there as well. Beer, mixed drinks, totally cool. Sometimes they have some specials on some things too, from distilleries. So check it all out. That's Vino Mas. Thank you to Deanna. Thanks for listening, folks, and we'll see you tomorrow.